Haunts were had and Halloween Horror Nights was bumping. But was it worth the hype or was the scariest thing the lines? It's Tickets Please with your host Austin Gould and Carson Gray. Welcome back to Tickets Please. Carson is back this week, so the talent is back on the podcast and everyone can rejoice.
Oh, jeez. Something like that. Hello, everyone, again. Good to be back. Austin, I like that intro. That was a good intro.
Thank you.
Not my name, but the horror night. That's a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, I like my little creative intros. I try to do something a little fun with
Yeah.
those every time.
Just so people know, for we are talking about Austin's experience, specifically Austin. I wasn't able to be there for Halloween Horror Night at Universal in California, and I have purposely not talked to him about his experience yet. So whatever he shares on the podcast today is going to be my first time experiencing it, just like you.
Yeah, I had a great. First off, I had a great time at Halloween Horror Nights. It did become like work at one point because it was a lot to go through, and I was there for a long time. I ended up walking it was like 13.5 miles just that one night, trying to get to everything I could possibly get to. So it was
half
busy.
A marathon. That's
so
wild.
It was a lot. I just kept walking, and at the end of the night, it got easier as the trip went on, and I continued to walk a ton. But the first day, my back and my body was hurting because I work out and I've been losing weight. But damn, that's a lot of walking. But yeah, I had a great time at Halloween Horror Nights. This episode is a top 15, just me list because Carson wasn't there. But we're going to go through it together and talk about it, and you'll get Carson's live reactions. I have my Jurassic Park shirt on again because Jurassic Park is featured in Universal, so I always like to be thematic, even though they didn't have a house, so they should. That's a great idea. Universal do a Jurassic World haunted house, Jurassic Park haunted house. But yeah, really just the overview. Halloween Horror Nights, it was a great time. It was hot as all get out the day I went. I went on, what was that? Let me see here, pull it up. That would have been the 7th of September. It was about 95 degrees out in LA, good old Hollywood, or Burbank, I guess. Not really LA, but good old Burbank. And it was really scorching, but I had a good time, and I was sweating a bunch. There was a lot of fun things to see. Some things that were disappointing, some things I want Universal to work on. Not that they give a damn or listen to this podcast, but you do, so I'm giving you my opinion. Right, bud?
Exactly.
And before we get into the top 15 list, I just want to thank everyone who's been sharing and subscribing and liking our content on Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. We're up to 150 subscribers, and the last time me and Carson recorded together, we weren't even up to 100, so we're doing great there. Keep engaging with us. There'll be a new show coming out soon where I cover theme park news on a weekly basis, bit of a shorter content for you. But yeah, you can find us at Tickets Please Pod on TikTok or Instagram. You can also find me at Austin Gould on Instagram, or Carson's also on Instagram, and you'll be able to see posts that will link you to the content for more Tickets Please, because we're always putting out new content. And with Scary Season continuing, we got a great guest in Braden Tanner next week, and we'll be covering Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror, down in Florida, so make sure you stay plugged in. But yeah, without further ado, I'll get into it. But before I get into the list, I will throw it to Carson to see if he has anything he wants to say.
The most I'll say for right now is go ahead and check out that video that Austin posted recently about the Jurassic Park ride update that Universal's planning to do. It's going to be shut down for almost a year from what it sounds like. So you can check out the video for more information, though.
Jurassic Park will be down for a whole year. And I think they haven't announced it yet, but I think they're going to change it to the Jurassic World, which was a ride that I got on at this event many a time. I will touch on that later. As you can tell by the fact I'm always wearing Jurassic Park crap, big fan of Jurassic Park. But yeah, I'll jump into this. And with with our list, as always, we have the G ticket, which is the thing that I wanted to give the shout out to the best. And this week, I added in the Z ticket, which we'll use going forward, which is the worst thing. So the Z ticket I have is flashing lights. For the haunted houses, or movies, or literally anything, I hate flashing lights with a passion. I am photosensitive, and so I just can't handle flashing lights. And so I was actually not able to do the only haunted house I was not able to do was the Poltergeist haunted house, because that was made up of exclusively flashing lights. I don't have, I'm not epileptic, so I don't have it as severe as most people, but I am photosensitive. I just hate these flashing lights, man. I don't like them even when they're effective. I think they're passe and just need to go. So I would like no flashing lights going forward for all haunted houses. That's my Z ticket.
Nice. I should check that out. I should check that one out specifically next year for myself. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
I mean,
only
it
go to
looked
that one.
banging. I would have loved to go on it, but from the outside, I was like, you know what? I bet that is entirely made of flashing lights. And then I watched a walkthrough, and it was, in fact, all flashing lights. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. Because there was flashing lights in a couple of these. Like, I think the Five Nights had a couple of flashing lights, and I walked right into a wall because, like, I have to shut my eyes.
Oh, jeez.
And so I was just, like, right into the wall as I was trying to navigate. But, that's my own choice. So, just go in if you can't handle flashing lights. Go in knowing that Poltergeist is all flashing lights. A lot of these have some kind of aspect of flashing lights. I only remember Five Nights having that. But just to start off, that's my Z ticket. And this is a top 15 list. And in ascending order, we'll start with, or descending order rather. We'll start with number 15, which is the worst thing, and number 1, which is the best thing. So, coming in at number 15 for Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood 2025, I have the lines. Unavoidable, but these lines suck. They're brutal. When I was there that night, some of the lines got up to 4 hours at certain points. Like the Jason house was like a 4-hour wait at multiple times. I never waited that long, but because of that, and because of trying to like navigate the lines, I ended up walking 13 miles because I was like, go into the upper lot, go into the lower lot, because I was like bouncing around to the haunted houses when they had different wait times, and I wasn't just standing there waiting. So it increased a lot of walking for me. I waited an hour for Terrifier. I waited 45 minutes for Jason at the very end of the night, and all the other haunted houses were a little bit lower than that. I think the shortest one was the Wyatt 6, was about 10-minute wait, and like I said, the longest was Terrifier. And when you're in the Terrifier line, you're subjected to, they have a great art clown scare actors walking around interacting with you. So that's fun. But the line is huge. You get to see the full line as you're waiting in it. So there's no you just are like, oh my God, this line is going so slow. The Clown Cafe song from Terrifier 2 kept playing on the audio. As you can see behind me, I got the Terrifier facade. Every now and then they would hit you with the Clown Cafe song. Which was cute at first, and then I was like, I hate this, because I kept hearing it. I just kept hearing it again and again. I was in that line for forever, man, and I was like, ugh. Another thing, we need to work on line etiquette, people. This is where I'm the oldest man in the world, Carson, and I told my wife this as well, where I feel like I'm just an ancient one. Stop making out in lines, people. That's weird. There's people all around you. Why are you sucking face in the middle of a line? I don't know what to do with that. If you're in front of me and you're making out and you're not moving forward, what am I supposed to do? I gotta tap you on the shoulder. I gotta be like, please move forward. Stop kissing. It's weird.
Were they serious? Is that a popular thing now? Holy
Dude, I saw so many people making out in line, and I'm telling you, I felt like the old man. I was like, stop it! But I felt so old.
Wow. Save that for the bars.
I was like, can you not make out at home? I was like, this is a lot going. I was like, this is crazy. It was a lot of people making out. I wouldn't mention it if I didn't notice.
Yeah, you're definitely older than me if you're saying save it for home. You old soul.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm the oldest man. I couldn't believe. I was also there by myself, and I'm 28, and so I just felt like, because my wife didn't want to get scared, and so I just had to do it myself. But I just felt like the world's oldest man.
God help anyone when you actually get a front lawn.
I know, literally, like, get off my lawn. I was like, get through the line, people. But anyway, lines are unavoidable. It's a popular event. I didn't mind waiting in the lines too much. It sucks when you're doing it after the fact. It doesn't matter that much. I don't really remember waiting in the line so much. Except I will say for the Jason house, you're in like a big lower lot area. I think it's like part of the Tram tour maybe during the day. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I know it's like there's like a hill. There's a huge hill and a big facade because the Jason house, I think, is their most popular one. And so you can see the thousands of people that are waiting to get in the Jason line. And they have repeat audio that is like advertising all the haunted houses. But since you're in that line for so long, you just hear the audio so much. And I had to listen to Bo Dallas, who's Uncle Howdy for the Wyatt 6, run through his spiel about 12 to 15 times when I was waiting in line, and I was just losing my mind at the end. I was like, I can't do this anymore, Uncle Howdy. I was like, this is the real terror, is the lines. But I once again, unavoidable.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Braden will touch on this more when it's his turn to be with us next week. I remember he talked about, because he was there in Orlando for a bachelor party thing, and he said it on their way out, or towards the end of them starting to head out, they saw a rush of 200 plus people enter the park for the Fright Fest, because their last day there was the first day it was open, and the the group he was with, they were all just like, we're gonna bail, let's get out of here. They had to swim upstream.
But I did the early access, so I was just already in the park, and then I got a wristband, so I was able just to stay in the park and go hit up stuff. And so I also waited a long time for Five Nights at Freddy's. I think I waited about 45, 50 minutes for Five Nights. And it's just rough because the lines don't have, because they're in like sound stages or areas of the park that aren't designed queues, there's nothing to like keep you entertained. You're just like in a big ass line. Like I was in the Five Nights line, but the Five Nights line was also the Transformers ride line. And so it was just a little weird.
Ooh, it blended like that? Jeez.
It was pretty much the whole line. Like I have a story about the Transformers ride in a sec here that you'll be interested in because you were hyping that ride up, Cars.
Oh no.
But yeah, there was a lot of stuff. I get it though. It's a different event. It's still worth it. Don't wait 4 hours though. Do get prepared to walk. Like,
yeah.
Like I said,
no. It's not a 4 hour line. I can agree with you on that one. Don't wait for 4 hours.
The haunted houses are 3 to 5 minutes. Like I think the longest one in my recording that I have is like 6 minutes. Shortest one is like somewhere like 3 minutes. Really fun. Definitely worth like an hour wait because it's like a one-time thing. Don't wait 4 hours though. That's insane. But just get ready to walk though, because that's what you'll be doing. And that leads perfectly into my number 14, Carson, which is the distance between the houses. That's also very bad. Like I said, I walked 13.5 miles this night, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Just like that was like when I walked 13 miles. Terrifier and Poltergeist house were just miles away for some reason. These two were like over where they do the tram tour, but there's no easy way to get there because you don't usually walk there. And so you just have to walk. Sorry, I just knocked something off my computer. Carson, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great. Keeping it in. You just have to walk the whole time, and like you're just like it, and then there's Poltergeist houses here and Terrifier's house right next to it. But then the next to it, like the next closest ones, are all the way back up in the upper lot, and then all the rest of them are in the lower lot. And so there's just a ton of walking you have to do, and there's no like quick way to do any of it.
Well, I was just gonna say, no wonder you walked that many miles. My God, if they're that far apart from each other.
Well, yeah, that's what happened was because like I did Five Nights first because I knew that one was going to get packed, and so I did that one. I got out. Jason, by the time I got out, Jason was already up to 180 minutes. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And Jason was in the lower lot. It was Scarecrow, Five Nights, Jason, and Wyatt 6 in the lower lot. And Wyatt 6 was 10 minutes, and so I did that one. But then Scarecrow was 90 minutes, and Jason was 180 minutes. But Fallout, Monstrous, what else was in the upper lot? Oh, Poltergeist and Terrifier were all in the upper lot, and they had less wait times, and so I walked my ass up there. But it just takes forever, like I said, and it just is no easy way to get back. And it's 95 degrees out, it's hot, you're tired, and by the end of the night, I was just like, my back was like, nope. And I was like, am I going to be able to do the rest of this trip? Once again, feels unavoidable because of the layout. They can't just be like, slap it in like the Mummy ride because that's a whole roller coaster. So I don't know what to do about it, but it does suck.
Yeah. My God. So you had to walk all that time.
Oh yeah. I went up and down to the upper lot I think like 3 or 4 times that night just because I was like bouncing between haunted houses. But that's why I was able to do everything because I didn't want to pay for stuff, which Carson leads perfectly into my next one. Number 13, cost. The cost of this event can feel prohibitive at times because there's express lane, right, Carson, for the haunted houses, and the express lane is like an absolute fraction of the time you wait. When Jason was 4 hours, the wait time for the express lane didn't exceed 20 minutes. but it cost $180 at least per ticket. And that's just for the express. You get an express lane for each attraction, like each haunted house, but it's $180.
No way.
And that also makes the line worse, though. Because if you're in the normal line, like me, because I'm cheap, you're watching all these people that got the express lane, and your hatred just grows. Because they're just letting the express lane go. And you're like, stop it! You just like want to scream. Because you just want to go. There was a part in the Terrifier line, I swear to God, they were letting the express lane go for like 20 minutes straight without even touching the normal line. And I was like, this is classism.
That's rough.
I start getting to my Karl Marx when I have to wait in these lines. And you also can buy. I got the early access one because that one was, I think it was $15, and so I was able to get into the park hours early and hit up some of the haunted houses that were up early, but not all the haunted houses were up early. Like the Jason one didn't open until the actual event started, so it just felt a little prohibitive because the ticket itself was an additional, like I think just a normal Universal ticket is $120. The Halloween Horror Nights tickets, I believe, was $80. That addition was $15, and then the Express Pass is $180. So you're already up to like $500 if you buy all of that.
Seriously,
or thereabout, and that doesn't include food. And so compare Universal compared to Disney, both are not like cheap in any regard. But I felt like I was getting gouged out of my wallet at Universal, and I did not feel that way at Disney. I felt like things were much more fairly priced at Disney. I don't, obviously it's not going to age tremendously well with everything going on with Kimmel and them raising prices. I can only speak from my experience. But yeah, I don't know. It just felt there. And also, I got a drink, which makes an appearance later in the list because it was fucking amazing. Sorry, Mom, for swearing. But I got a double of Jameson. I'm not going to shout out the bartender because I don't want to get him in trouble. But I got a Butterbeer with a double of Jameson. And the guy was like, do you want a single or a double? I should have said single, but I was really tired and I wanted booze. And so I said a double. And he was like, I'll make it a triple. And he did. So I really appreciated that. And he didn't charge me for a triple. He charged me for a double. But it cost me $35 for a Butterbeer and 2 shots of Jameson. That's a lot.
That's a
And after a tip, it was like $40. It was delicious. Geez. And I do recommend it. But that's a lot of fucking quiche. And, also the merch was expensive, and also I didn't think the merch was the highest quality either. I actually didn't end up buying anything from Halloween Horror Nights because it felt a little plasticky to me. That's being very critical, but I just felt like there was like a tangible that was missing from it.
Well, that's real. I've heard that complaint about merchandise in general for events. Like it's the same with books. Honestly, I can speak to that a bit more personally because I'm noticing like books are being made with cheaper paper, thinner paper, and so I'm not surprised that same pattern is happening in merch stuff and then jacking up the prices even more for it, and then those merch things aren't going to last as long. It's not worth it. It's literally not worth it.
Yeah, like the only thing I wanted was that Jason ceramic mug, but I thought it was.
Did you get that?
It was a campfire. I thought it was a campfire mug, which is metal, but it was ceramic, and I was like, well, that's not going to survive on the way home because I just had bad luck with that stuff. And so I didn't buy it because it wasn't going to press my luck. But those, like, I know I'm being negative, but this is at the bottom of the list. I have a lot of good stuff to say about Halloween Horror Nights, folks. Just stay with me. These are just things I got to get off my chest. The next one, also very bad though, was the Terror Tram. So they have, during the day, they have like the tram tour, Carson, which takes you through like the back lot of Hollywood and Burbank. So you see like sets where they film TV shows and movies, like they filmed Dracula and Frankenstein there. They also film like Man on the Inside now with Ted Danson in one of the spots. And you get to like go through a couple of fun things. Really cool, really fun. The Terror Tram is the same system. You board a shuttle, but they drive you over to like a lot that is the lot that has the house and the hotel from Psycho, the original Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, seriously? That's
that's
cool.
Super cool because you get really close up with like movie history. But the Terror Tram was this year and last year was themed to Blumhouse. It was like Enter the Blumhouse, and I actually like a lot of Blumhouse films like Black Phone, and a couple other, like they produce like a ton of horror movies. Like if you've watched any horror movie in the last 10 years, you've seen at least one Blumhouse movie. Megan, Purge, Sinister. But it was like, it is nearly one of the things for the haunted houses in general. It's extremely hard to be scared when you're in a big group of people, at least for me. Especially if you're in a big open area, like a lot, and you can see all the scares and hear them before you're actually there to get scared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
That's too bad.
There were parts of it that were really good. Like this was not their intention, but do you know what Megan is? Like that robot girl.
I've seen the first film. Yeah.
Okay, so you know her little dance scene when she's like, vibing. So like they had a bunch of Megan actors, and like when you pull up to like the haunted house area, there's like a Megan doing that dance, and then
that's
a bunch of
actually that's cool.
It made me laugh. I know that wasn't their intended, but I really enjoyed it. It was just very funny to me. But then a bunch of purge people run at you with chainsaws. Also, speaking of chainsaws, this will come up later. They have like chainsaws and they rev them, so like they don't have a chain on the chainsaw, but they rev it so it sounds like it's getting ready to go, right? But it also produces gas fumes. If you're a scare actor, how the do you deal with that all night? I only had to deal with it like 10 minutes at a time, and it was giving me a headache. If you're a scare actor and you use the chainsaw all night, like hit us up. I want to know how you deal with that, because I was like, that already is giving me a headache, and I barely been standing here.
Yeah, do you get sick?
Yeah, I don't know. I know you lose a lot. If you're a scare actor, I know you lose a lot of weight because you're running around the whole night. And also, just a shout out to all the scare actors in the mazes, out of the mazes. You guys are putting in a shift. You guys are working really hard. We all appreciate that. Some of you are incredible. There, like in the Terrifier house, there was one, the main character from that, the hero comes out and just lets out a blood-curdling scream. And I was like, I could do that maybe twice and my voice would be gone for a week. I don't know how they keep doing it. I was like in that room for a while and I heard the same girl do it 4 or 5 times. I was like, how are you doing this?
That's awesome.
I was just amazed. So great job.
Fun fact, you and I know somebody from our high school who is one of those actors in Orlando, though. Shout out Simi Wood.
Oh, Simi did it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Simi on her Instagram has posted a couple of videos of stuff and photos of experiences that have gone on. So shout out Simi. It looks like she's rocking it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get her on to talk about that. That'd be great.
That'd be really cool.
But back to the Terror Tram. I'll also note that it felt like a big advertisement because it was advertising the Black Phone 2, which comes out later this year. Megan 2, which came out earlier this year, and the Purge series, which I imagine is maybe there's another one in the works. But it felt like a big ad. It was cool to see the Bates Motel and get up and close and personal with it. Like I saw it earlier that day on the tram tour. It's cool to like actually like see the doors open and stuff. Yeah, this one is another one too far away. Takes too long to get to. They have cool photo ops though. They have one with like Megan, so you could like take a photo with Megan, or you could take a photo with Norman Bates in front of the Bates house, like the actual house they use in the movie, which is cool. But the line was too long, and I had like stuff to do, so I was like, no, I'm getting out of here.
Did they have anything from the TV show Bates Motel? Which is
I have not seen that, so I can't say.
Oh, okay.
But it was cool. They had like the prop. They had like the mom in the window. I mean, it was cool to see that stuff up close and walk near it. They also had the Hollywood sign covered in blood, like not the actual one, but they like recreated one in the park. So that was neat. There's also a cool area where you walk through like a mini haunted house. That's the Blumhouse, like the titular Blumhouse. But that was way too short. I think it was like 2 rooms.
Geez.
Like there's something here, but it is just hard to be scared when you're in a big open space and you're in a big group. That's my experience at least.
Oh, how long did I'm sorry. How long did the tram take to get to that location?
The tram didn't take that long, but you walk. The tram like drops you off and you walk, and so it's just more walking. It takes off from where the actual tram does too, but which is just kind of far away from everything as well. So it's just more walking, and it just kind of. I was doing it, and I was like, I should not have done this. This is cutting into my haunted house time. I was like, I should have sacrificed the Terror Tram. But I ended up doing everything I wanted to do, minus the shows though. The shows will not be in this list because I did not get to attend Purge, the Water Show, or the Chainsaw Man show because I just didn't have time, and some had to be cut, and those were time specific, and it didn't work out with my schedule.
It's
So
cool that
those
they
will
had.
not be on this list.
I didn't know that they had shows. That's super cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see. I'm sure they were great, but those will not be on the list. But coming in at number 11, I have the scare zones, which are not haunted houses, but like little areas of the park where they have like we talked about them a little bit. Like they have like the Scarecrow one, they have like the clown with the chainsaw. They have like a Latin America monsters one. These are really cool, and the scare actors do a great job, but they're really small. The one for the Scarecrow one with the hillbillies is like 25, 30 feet. And there's like 2 scare actors, and they look great, and they did a great job scaring people. This was actually one of the funniest parts of the night for me, is that the scare actors got the people behind me, and it got the guy who was behind me so bad that he apologized to the guy who scared him, because he just got like shocked into apologizing. It was very funny.
I'm sorry.
That's exactly what it was. It was very, very funny. His friends were like roasting him. I enjoyed that very much. And this is not a dunk on the scare actors. You're once again in a big open space. There's a lot of people just trying to get to A to B, and so not all the scares worked. But I also thought my favorite one was the crows, because I'll throw up a photo right now because I took a photo of it. They have like people dressed as crows and they're on stilts, so they're just like big giant crows that are interacting with people. Very funny. They didn't look like they were scaring a damn person, but they did look like they were having a great time interacting with everyone. So.
That's still really cool, though.
And then number 10, this was my most disappointing thing, was the Fallout house. So this is the first haunted house on the list. Carson, I told you a little bit about this, but this was very disappointing. This was no good. I didn't even have to wait that long for this house. This was for like 20, 25 minutes. It didn't work as any scares, because the people who were jump scaring you in the maze are the heroes of the show. Like the first scare was Lucy coming out in her wedding dress, and she was like, "Raiders!" But it was Lucy, and I was like, "No, she's the hero. Why would I get scared by this?"
Right. Ooh.
The coolest part of it was that you walk through a room, and it has like when they go to the other vault, like the brother goes to the other vault in the TV show. Also, spoilers for Fallout TV show and Horror Nights in general. And like that other vault is all messed up, and there's dead people hanging from the ceilings. You have to like walk through a room and like push your way through hanging bodies. That was awesome. But in that room, the brother comes in and he's like, "Something happened here." And I'm like, "It's not scary. This guy is not scary. He's the brother. I know him." And then the ghoul was cool, but he had more hero shots where he like popped out of a coffin, and you're like, "It's the ghoul. He's a cool character. Not scary." They have a room with Maximus and the power armor. They have like an actual suit of power armor that was moving around. It was kind of just like doing like a shuffle. It was kind of just like walking his feet. Super cool to see that, though. As a fan of the games and a fan of the TV show, just a neat, it's just cool to see an actual suit that someone could wear and walk around in. But that scene also didn't make any sense, because Maximus was like smoking a cigarette, posing to look cool. And I was like, "What is this? Isn't this supposed to be a haunted house?" And there was a couple more scares with Lucy, but they just never worked on me, because I just wasn't scared by the heroes of the show. It was very short. It was a little underwhelming. Also, the people in front of me were the worst people in the world. It was like a group of bros. They sucked. They could disappear off the face of the planet, and there would be no loss. That one guy was talking, and he was like, he was like, and I was talking to this chick, and she was like, "You're an asshole," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm an asshole, babe, but I get shit done." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one getting chopped up by Jason.
Yeah, but it was
like halfway
real.
through the film.
But they were like, he was also hitting on, like, they have people that are like, "The line goes this way," like people that are just like working to tell you where the line is. And this douche was hitting on the women there. And like the women can't be like, "Fuck off, dude, get away from me," because they're working a job. So they're trying to be nice, but this guy is just like trying to hit on them, and his friends aren't pulling him away, and it was just awful. Like, the guy just sucked.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, the guy. But you shouldn't be doing that, man. These people are working. Don't trap women with your conversation. That's not how you like. That's crazy.
That's just awkward. That's really awkward.
So I just hated that. I just hated those those 4 bros. Men, don't be like this. If your bros are like this, they're not your bros. Call them out for it. It's bad behavior.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Icky behavior.
But yeah, I didn't like the Fallout house. Also, there were screens in the Fallout house for like the rad roaches, and it didn't look good. But moving on to number 9, we're starting to get into the good territory here. This is the Five Nights at Freddy's house. This is the first haunted house I did. I thought this was a little underwhelming because you're just kind of in like a vacant pizza shop. The exterior of this one was amazing though, because it was just like a big brick, looked like a pizza house like from New York. It looked like Chuck E. Cheese, just like a big brick house. I'll throw a picture of that too because I got a picture in front of that. A really neat, cool exterior. The animatronic when you walk in was really cool. It was just like Freddy Fazbear like doing like a song. I believe there were supposed to be 2 other animatronics working, or at least 2 other screens. But at least when I did the attraction, only Freddy Fazbear was working. It was cool to see. I believe there is supposed to be screens. I think the one in Orlando has 3 animatronics. But it was cool that at least the Fazbear animatronic was working, because it's a impressive animatronic, and it works really well because it's like a robot that is supposed to be like kind of like janky. And so it just like works really well as an animatronic, because an animatronic is already that robot, So cool to see. They have like other scares that are like Bonnie. If you know the game, it's like Bonnie the Fox Chica. And those, I think there were a couple other animatronics that just kind of like pop out at you, like they're just ones that are like on a stick and they come towards you. But there are a couple other ones that walk towards you, and what they do is they have a person dressed all in black behind you or behind the puppet, and they're like steering it like a kind of like just like a puppet. And so that was pretty cool to see. It was just like a great little like trick. This is when they were using the flashing lights though, because they were like trying to make it look like it was moving. And so it does work. I just hate flashing lights, but a cool trick nonetheless to have a guy dressed all in black actually puppeteering the person. The bad for this is and this could go for all the haunted houses, but this one in particular, it's too loud. This is my old man corner again. I can't hear anything they're trying to tell me. There are parts where there's audio, but I can't hear it because the volume is pitched up to 11. It's blowing out my eardrums, and it just sounds like it's just like screaming and like chainsaws going the whole time. And so I can't hear what they're trying to tell me. So we got to lower the sound a little bit, Universal, so I can actually hear what you're trying to tell me, because otherwise it just sounds like noise, and then my eardrums are literally ringing afterwards.
Yeah, it's important to find that balance, because it's part of the experience, part of the story that you're trying to immerse yourself in.
Yeah, there were a couple of other ones that had a little bit better balance. This was definitely the worst one. They're all loud, like haunted houses are loud in general, but this one was particularly loud. It was also early in the night, so maybe that had something to do with it. The coolest room in this haunted house was they had like a setup that it looked like the video game room, like when you're in front of all the monitors.
That's
so that
cool.
was cool to see. Just a fun Easter egg for you gamers out there. Coming in at number 8 and 7, I won't spend too much time on these because they're a little similar, was the Scarecrow Haunted House and the Monstrous Haunted House. Also funny, that word, Carson, is just monstrous. We both thought it was Latin America, that it was like monsteros or something like that, because we thought it was Spanish. It's just the word monstrous. Oh, jeez.
We're exposing ourselves. You're exposing us weeks later.
I just thought it was funny because I was like, oh, you know what? That word is just monstrous. But anyway, I liked the Monstrous House a little bit more. The Scarecrow one was good. It just felt a little generic. It kind of was the generic haunted house. They had a couple of good kills, like where they used like a corn, like somebody had a corn on the cob stabbed through their mouth and their abdomen. That's pretty funny. They have a good exterior. That's like a farm exterior. Good scare actors. Better audio balance. I didn't remember flashing lights. I did this one early though. So I like that one. And then I like the Monstrous one a bit more because it had my second favorite, or maybe my third favorite kill in a haunted house, which it had a girl on a bed who was getting eaten by a giant demon. And it was like an actual human scare actor who had like one of her legs, like it was probably tucked into the bed, but it looked like it was going into the mouth of the animatronic that was crashing through her bedroom ceiling. And she was like, "Help me!" And then you walk to the next scene, and her whole body, then it's just like a animatronic, but it's just like her whole body's in the mouth of the monster. And I was like, that's great.
That's
what
cool.
a unique way to storytell, and super super cool that it was an actual like actress in the bed, like being like, ugh. I also thought she probably had the best night though, because she actually got to lay in like a bed the whole night. She still was working, no doubt about it. But some of the other people are like running back and forth. So I like both these houses. I thought they were a little generic, but I think that's okay. You got to mix it up with the IPs and the generic stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Coming in at number 6 was a surprise for me, which was the Wyatt 6. Didn't even look at that. Look at that synergy with Wyatt 6 coming in at number 6. But this one is the WWE haunted house that has the Wyatt 6 actors or wrestlers featured in it. And it takes place on like a bayou, like that's the story of these wrestlers. And they're a part of a big family, kind of like the Sawyers and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but in a swamp. But this one was surprisingly gory. I was really impressed by the gore on this one because I thought WWE might be like, don't do gore too much. But they were like, nah, like there were bodies cut in half. They were ripping people apart. They were butchering people. They were smacking people with hammers. The audio from Bo Dallas, who's Uncle Howdy, was super cool. All the costumes looked great from my perspective. Like as a WWE fan, I thought the masks looked great and Uncle Howdy looked great. Cool to see some of the Alexa Bliss stuff as well, who's kind of in the Wyatt 6, kind of not. The funniest part of this one was in one of the rooms, and this was one of the 2 times this night that I actually got a little spooked, Carson. So they did get me twice. Was in a room where they have a bunch of, I couldn't tell if they were fans or dead wrestlers, but it was like people wearing like Roman Reigns shirt, Cody Rhodes shirt, CM Punk shirts
nice.
That were all dead, and they were like massacred. And I was like, that's so funny. And then as I was thinking that was funny, a guy in stilts popped out of a door that was too small for him to be in there, and it got me pretty good. I didn't scream, but I went, oh my, in the audio, so I'll play that for you. And they also have a Bray Wyatt tribute, who was the member who passed away. He was the originator of the Wyatt family. Passed away a couple of years due to a heart condition. So always nice to see a tribute to Bray Wyatt, especially for us wrestling fans. But yeah, I was just really impressed by the gore of this one. I'll also say they pump smells into these haunted houses for different rooms. And there are apparently there's different smells. But I'll tell you, I can't really identify what the smell is other than bad. It smelled a little bit like formaldehyde. Like if you've ever smelled formaldehyde, like I smelled like that really strong kind of like bad chemically body smell. And so that was gross as hell. Liked it because it added to the haunted house, but it was gross.
That's cool. I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah, like I said, I liked it. Really impressed by this house. But yeah, coming in number 5 is interactions with the scare actors. Pretty funny, really entertaining, depending on who they were. Like I said, I like the crows. The clowns with the chainsaws running around were interesting. I always got a little like jittery around chainsaw people just because like something in your brain hears a chainsaw go off and you're like, ugh! Like you just want to like get away because you don't want to like get like nicked by a chainsaw. Like I said, the crow people were my favorite, but they also have a bunch of art, the clowns running around, just generally hassling people. They had like a trash bag full of like trinkets they could use. The most common one I saw was like a clown horn. That art would just like right in front of people that were unsuspecting that like didn't see him coming.
Nice.
So that was pretty funny. I had a pretty good interaction with Art. I'll throw the picture up. At the end of the night, I was walking away.
I like that photo.
Yeah, I was walking away. There was an Art the Clown by himself, and he was and I was just like, "Hey, can I grab a photo real quick?" And they were like, "Yep." He didn't say yep, but his handler said yep. And so I took a photo. And right as I took the photo, you can see his reaching into the bag. About a millisecond after that, he fake slit my throat with a knife that he pulled out from the trash bag. And I wish I would have taken the photo just a little bit later, because that would have been a great
photo. That would have been so cool.
To get slashed by Art. But I don't know if he was supposed to do that, because right afterward, his handler was like, "Okay, let's not do that," and like made him put the knife away. I thought it was great though, so I hope they're able to do that stuff. Made my night, so I was super pumped about it. Thanks to that Art the Clown actor. I thought that was wonderful, and I didn't take more than 30 seconds. And they weren't walking away to. They were actually like taking photos with people. I didn't like stop them before they had their break. But anyway, super fun. And then coming in at number 4 is the Terrifier house. I had pretty high expectations for this one, and I will say all my expectations were met. The line sucked. Longest line I waited in all night was 1 full hour. I actually timed it on my phone because I was like, I bet I won't wait a full hour. Started the timer right when I got in the house. It was like 58.5, so right on the dot.
Wow.
Like, really set a good line there. But this house was disgusting. If you've seen the Terrifier movies, you know that's exactly what it should be.
Did you watch the Terrifier movies before you went to this?
Yes, I've seen all the Terrifier movies, so I was well prepared on what I was going to be looking for in these scenes, and it was featured. One is like kind of a movie, kind of just like a short film. It's like if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. There's just like one big kill in that movie, but it was actually shown in this haunted house. But this was as gross as a haunted house could possibly be, and is correct because Terrifier is gross. They have all the iconic kills. Also, this is a gore warning for you because I'm going to be talking about some nasty crap coming up here, especially with Terrifier. They have the kill from the second movie where Art cuts off, just mutilates a girl, cuts off her skull, pours bleach and salt on her wounds. Brutal. That's when the main character, the hero of the movies, come in, and she was in her armor from the second movie, and she was letting out a blood-curdling scream, and she was somehow doing that the whole night. I don't know if they have different actors that play the same parts. I just can't imagine doing that scream. Like, I've been talking for 40 minutes in this episode, and my throat's a little sore. I can't imagine letting out a scream like I'm dying and doing that the whole night. They also have about 45 to 50 people playing Art the Clown in different rooms.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that much, but it felt like every room I went to, there was an Art the Clown represented.
Oh, you were exaggerating. I thought you meant they actually had that many.
I don't know how many. It really could be that many because I just felt like every room I went in, there was Art the Clown, and it was also
there.
all over the parks. This was the longest haunted house I was in. It was about 6 minutes, and they really just take you through the second and third movie. The second one, you go through all the iconic scenes, like I said already, with the kills, and then you get into This also smelled really bad. It had that, once again, that formaldehyde smell. There was one room where you go in, and it's a bathroom that Art has lovely decorated with blood and poo, which is real from the movies. That room didn't smell like poo, but it did not smell good, I'll tell you that much. The people in front of me were gagging.
Nice.
Art was, kind of like jamming on people. Always like, there was one great kill where they have a dummy that Art can slide across a chainsaw blade and it splits the dummy open. But it's like an actual scare actor like doing the splitting the guy. That was super cool, great to see. Some of the stuff you kind of get rushed through these houses just because the lines are so busy. But they have like the big Art puppet from the second movie. I kind of got to see that, but I was right at the tail end of that, so I would have liked to see that a little bit more. But then at the end, you go through Terrifier 3, which is like Christmassy, and so it's funny. They pump, instead of bad smells, they pump in like juniper and pine and cinnamon because you're in Christmas.
That's so smart.
Yeah, but all this horrible stuff is going on, so that was pretty great.
The juxtaposition.
And then when you're walking out and you're leaving, I know in Orlando they have the dry and wet path, but in Hollywood they just had a path where you had to push through like wet toilet paper and like bloody bags. Very gross. Because it's just water, but you just feel gross about it. And the best effect of the night goes to Terrifier, because right when you walk in, Art is butchering someone above you, and instead of cold water, which Universal usually sprays on you, they drip warm water on you, making it feels like the blood is dripping on you. Very, very clever.
Whoa, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's just warm water, but it's an extremely clever little trick, because it did make me, I was like, ugh. But I really liked that, and it did, and it was very true to Art in those movies. I thought the actors and actresses from those movies franchise probably thought they did a great job with this one in particular.
Wow, that makes me want to, at the very least, go in. Like, I know it's kind of cheating. I want to see that one in person for sure, but I might go watch like a YouTube video of that one or something.
And that reminds me, you can see it right here. They have the Terrifier facade from the ride from the second movie. Great facade. They also have the Clown Cafe from the second movie. Inside, Art the Clown is yucking it up. I mean, it was really just good. They just really paid a great homage to this gross character. They did a great job with it. Once again,
That's cool.
I didn't get scared in this. I really didn't get scared most of the night. I never felt fear. There were times where like a jump scare made me like reel back. Like I said, it's just kind of hard to be scared when you're in a big group of people and you're all in the line walking through a house. But once again, I think the scare actors do a great job with it. And in particular, the Art the Clown actors seem like they're having a great time. So shout out to those guys. And then coming in at number 3, not a haunted house or an attraction, Carson, but Butterbeer with booze. And some of you are like, that's not exclusive to Halloween Horror Nights. Well, it was for me. And it's my list, so it's on there. This was the first time I was in Universal. We hit up Harry Potter Land first during the day, and I got a normal Butterbeer. Absolutely delicious. Also gluten-free. One of my favorites, probably my favorite thing I drank on the whole trip was this Butterbeer. I've been thinking about it a lot since then. As always, I love Harry Potter. I don't agree with anything J.K. Rowling has said about anyone, so we do not support J.K. Rowling on this channel. But we enjoy the Harry Potter world, and we separate the art from the artist. And of course, there's cognitive dissonance there. But if you're a human being, you gotta work with that every day. But I just want to make our stance clear there.
I'm right there with you, Austin.
But the Butterbeer, it lived up to the hype. I knew it tasted like butterscotch, but Carson, this shit is so good. I cannot wait to take you to one of the Universal parks, and we're gonna get these Butterbeers. Ooh, Carson, they're so delicious. I
really want to. I had a Butterbeer when I went in high school for the high school graduation trip. I got to have a cup of it. It was so freaking good.
Yeah, I got the cold one. They serve them hot, cold, and frozen. I got 2 cold ones. Ice cold, lovely. Just buttercream on top. Ugh, it was so good. I really just...
Nice.
I had 3 of them that night. I bet these things are about 1,500 calories a piece because they're so sugary. But damn, they're good. And I was thinking during the day when I had the normal one that it would be really good with whiskey. And my wife was like, oh, I don't think they do that unless you're at an event. But later that night, I was at an event, and I was able to do a triple of Jameson into my Butterbeer. And there's a reason they don't sell those things is because crime. If that thing went down so smooth, delicious. If you serve those things just straight up, everyone would be drunk by the end of the night.
It sounds really
pricey,
good.
But it was delicious, and I have been thinking about it. So, I really like this. But yeah, Butterbeer, my number 3 on my Halloween Horror Nights.
You know what I think would also be really good in Butterbeer is Bailey's.
I think they had Bailey's. It was like the whiskey options were Fireball, which is gross, Jack, which is not good, and Jameson, which is good. And so I went with J-Mo.
There you go.
But coming in at number 2 is also not exclusive to Halloween Horror Nights, but was one of my very favorite things, the rides. Most of the rides stay open besides like the kid rides, like the Minion ride and Pets. The what's that movie called? Secret Life of Pets. That ride isn't open because they're like kid rides, which makes sense. The Terror Tram is always like the tram's not running because it's a Terror Tram, but a lot of the other rides are open. And the wait time, you pretty much don't have a wait time at all. Everything was a walk on. I didn't wait for any of the things I got on. I got on all the rides I wanted to get on. If I wanted to get on multiple times, I did. That's why I got on Jurassic World about 6 times, Carson, because I love that ride so much. The new one with the great animatronic that lived up to the hype. Beautiful scale, just a giant. I don't want to spoil it, but they just do the ride extremely well, and the scales and the ceilings. And everyone getting wet was hilarious. And I got my wife to go on it with me before Halloween Horror Nights started. And then during Halloween Horror Nights, I would hit up a haunted house, and then I would go to Jurassic World, and then I would go hit up another ride, and then I would go back to Jurassic World, and then I would go to another haunted house, and then I would come back to Jurassic World because I just loved it so much. And it's super cool to ride.
That's really cool.
Yeah. The rides close at midnight. The park doesn't close till 2. Like the haunted houses don't close till 2. So just know that if you're going. But it's super cool to ride these rides at night. Like Flight of the Hippogriff, which is not a good ride. Got on that for the first time. That's about a 30-second roller coaster. And some people have waited a long time for that bad boy. But it's super cool at night. Is the Harry Potter Land also had the dark mark on the castle, like the big skull, because it was like the villains have taken over. The Mummy ride blew me away. I knew it was a roller coaster, but that bad boy launches you when the roller coaster portion started. Really love that. Which brings me to a funny story about one of your favorite rides, Carson, which was the Transformers ride.
Oh, God.
So you were like, oh, I love that ride. And I heard from a lot of people that they love this ride. And I kind of knew what it was. It was like, you sit in like a vehicle and you go through, watch a lot of screens, but it's like the Spider-Man ride that's an Island of Adventure. I got on this ride, and I've never been on a ride that was technically working, but could not have been more broken.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I got on it. The ride starts, there was audio for about 2 seconds, and then all the audio shut off.
No way.
And so it was just like, the screen was going, and it was Optimus being like, but like I couldn't tell what he was saying. Bumblebee showed up, and his radio worked for like half a second, and then that stopped working. there were all the lights were on. Not sure if they were supposed to be. We were going about 0.5 miles an hour through the ride. There's a drop at one point that I know, like it's like a simulated drop, and when you're supposed to like fall through the building, right? And that went. It was like, here comes the drop, and then we slowly descended.
Oh no!
And the people that were in the ride vehicle with me, we were all like, "This isn't supposed to happen, right?" And we were like, "No, this is not supposed to happen." And then when we got off the ride, they were like, "Okay, get off." And then our vehicle didn't open, and they had to come over and crank it to get it open to get us off the ride. And they were just like, "Sorry," but it was very. And so I did not get back on that one, and so I can't give it a fair rating. But it was hilarious that it was completely and totally broken.
That sucks. Oh, dude. Okay, you and I need to ride that ride when it's actually fully functioning.
Hey, if it's working, I'm more than willing to go. It could not have been more broken, though. It was very funny to me.
You'll definitely like it when it's fully functioning. That's such a good story, though. Oh my god.
I was like, it was just fun. It was just no audio, so it was just like a nice chill ride. But I couldn't tell what was going on. But I love the Harry Potter ride too. That one gave me wicked motion sickness. I know it does for a lot of people.
Well, the Gringotts one?
No, it's the Forbidden Journey. It's similar to the Gringotts one, but you're in like the castle and you're going through like the Hogwarts grounds. And you're in like a bench. You're on a Kuka arm. That's like you ever seen like the car commercials where they're like building a car?
Yeah.
And it's like the little arms that are like bending in all the ways. Like you're on a Kuka arm, which is what that's called, on a conveyor belt on a bench, and so you're just getting like whipped around, as you can see with my spastic hand movements on a bench.
So okay, yeah, we were trying to ride that one when I went in high school. That's when the weather started to get super bad, so we were like, okay, we actually need to start heading out. So that's the one I didn't get to ride.
Yeah, great ride. We're going to cover it at some point in the future. I'm very curious about this ride because they desperately need to update the video aspect, because it looks like it's in like 480p. I have like no idea what's up with that. Some of this video looks really good. Some of it, there's like a part where you're going through flue powder, which is like the green fire they travel with, and it looks like a PS2 game. Don't know what the hell's up with that.
The pixelated fire.
Yeah, but the actual sets are amazing. They have one where you are getting flung around the Whomping Willow, but the Whomping Willow has got to be like 40 to 50 feet tall. And you're getting flung all around this bad boy. You go through a cave of spiders, like where Aragog is, and he's the animatronic. You see all the Dementors. They're like they're like 9 to 12 feet tall, these animatronics. Just great scale on this ride. I wish it whipped you around a little bit less, but I still had a great time on this ride.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out. I really want to check that one out.
Yeah, and so why this is on the Halloween Horror Nights list is because a lot of people will tell you don't do the rides because you need to focus on doing the haunted houses. I say that's hooey. You don't have any wait time on these rides. They're really great and are mostly better than the haunted houses, especially the Jurassic World, the Mummy, and the Harry Potter ride, the Forbidden Journey, not the Flight of the Hippogriff, which if you get on that, don't wait longer than 5 minutes for that ride. That ride is literally 30 seconds. I thought it was great. I thought all the rides were amazing.
Yeah, that's
except
wonderful.
Transformers, which did not work.
That's too bad.
And then, of course, my number one best thing I did at Halloween Horror Nights 2025 in Hollywood is, of course, Jason Universe Haunted House. This was going in my most, I was very excited about it. It was my most hyped. You can go see my Instagram where I unintentionally do the Italian hand when I'm talking about that. I'm so excited for this. And the line for this one that night, there were times where it was 4 hours. I only had to wait 45 minutes. It was the last thing I did. I was not leaving the park without doing this, no matter how long I had to wait. When you get up to the exterior, it's set up to look like a cabin. Of course it is, because Crystal Lake, that's where Jason does. I'll throw up the picture I took in front of the Crystal Lake thing on the screen. You also have Crazy Ralph, who is like the guy who's like, you'll never come back, you'll never live if you go there, to the kids in the first movie. And it was like a scare actor in like a big rubber mask. Hilarious.
Nice.
And you go through the haunted house, and it just has, because they don't have the license to Friday the 13th, but they have the license to Jason, it just has a bunch of different variations of Jason. Like it has Baghead Jason. It has the shrine from the movies with his mom's forehead. It has the like mutant Jason, the zombie Jason, the hockey max Jason. It has like all the Jasons you could ever want. I don't think I saw Jason X, but I think I saw the rest of them from all the movies. Just great. My favorite kill, or just scare actor moment was in this place, and this was actually the only haunted house. I think the people behind me were trying to take their time, and the people in front of me were rushing, and so I pretty much got to walk through this haunted house by myself,
Oh, that's
which
so
was an
cool.
amazing experience, especially because I'm such a big fan of Friday the 13th and Jason.
That's amazing that you got to do it all, and you went on your own. So that was
Yeah, I went on my own, and I just loved it, and I loved seeing all the Jason references. But my favorite one is a reference to a almost kill in this Friday the 13th Part Two, where Jason is like trying to stab the main character in that movie with a pitchfork through their car. And in this one, they had a scare actor inside a yellow beetle, and a scare actor who was playing Jason stabbing the beetle with a machete, and like the scare actor was like dodging it. And I'll throw the video up so you can see that. But just a really great use of scare actors and like physical props. And I don't know if the Jason, they also might have been both animatronics. It was dark in there. I think they were actually scare actors though, but I really love that scene. Um, there was also, this one was the only time I genuinely got scared, because there was a headless body that I was filming on my phone, and the headless body was a scare actor, and it stood up and
oh
scared me.
jeez.
But I was like very good. That was a very good scare. There was another time where I was like, it was towards the end where you're kind of walking just like through Crystal Lake, and a Jason actor, he saw me by myself, and he thought he got me. He ran up, charged me, and I, unfortunately for him, did not react. Wasn't trying to be cool. I just didn't react. And in the video, you'll see me like I film him, and then I'm just like, yeah, okay, and I just keep going. And I felt very bad, but I really appreciate the effort they all put
Your
in.
medication kicked in on that one.
It just, yeah, and I also was just so excited to see all the Jason stuff. And also, I think I would have enjoyed the other haunted houses too if I was by myself. But like I said, for this one, I was just mostly by myself, and I got to experience stuff alone in a haunted house. Like if you're in a haunted house, you want to experience just as a group, or if you're by yourself, by yourself. And so it was super cool to see that,
That sounds
and it lived up to the hype.
excellent.
Yeah, this was my favorite. This one's short though. This one's about 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So compared to the Terrifier one, which was like 6 minutes. And like I said, I couldn't go on the Poltergeist, or I didn't do the shows. So there's other things, the Halloween Horror Nights to experience, and the Orlando one is pretty much a completely different experience. So I can't really say anything to that. But in total, I had a great time at Halloween Horror Nights. I thought it was really fun. I don't know if I would do this one again in Hollywood. Like I said, it was a lot of walking, and I heard the Orlando one is just a lot better, and it has more stuff to do. And so I would definitely like want to do that one with you, Cars. But for a first time, I had a great time. Like I said, at the end of the night, it did become work at some point. It's because of all the walking and all the long lines. Still a great time, though. Really got me in the Halloween mood. And I thought, particularly for the haunted houses, I thought the Jason and the Terrifier house were great. And I thought the Wyatt 6 was surprisingly good. And I saw Fallout was pretty disappointing. But like I said, there's something for all, like the haunted houses. But yeah, so that's my list, buddy. What do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot. It's a bummer that the Fallout one didn't turn out as well as I was hoping it would be, because I love those
Yeah,
I
that one
love
didn't
those
work.
games. But that's a shame.
I do too, and it was cool to see like the power armor from the games, but it just didn't work for me. Also, I forgot to mention the Jason house is my G ticket, so I'll put that on the screen because of course it is. That's
Yeah,
my favorite
that makes
thing.
total sense.
Do not leave Halloween Horror Nights without doing the Jason house. It's amazing. Just find the time that works. Do not wait 4 hours. That's a long time to wait for anything. And I didn't get any of the food besides the butterbeer because I couldn't tell what was gluten free and what wasn't, and so I stuck with what was gluten free because I have to. So anyway, that will do it. Like I said, next week we got Braden Tanner coming on. We'll be covering Twilight Zone Tower Terror. Carson will be able to talk more because he's actually been on that ride and won't just me be going through a list. But as I said, it's been another great week. We really appreciate, once again, everyone sticking with us and giving us the time of day and interacting with us and subscribing to us. Keep doing that. Keep sharing. Keep liking. But Carson, anything you want to talk about?
I think that list was excellent. It makes me want to go on a ride so badly. Want to go back to the theme parks again. Actually, I'm planning to go with my lovely wife Callie, my good friend Alec, and we will be going to Six Flags Fright Fest in Gurnee, Illinois, on the last week that last weekend before Halloween. So we'll make sure.
Yeah, and we'll do a preview and a
Yes.
coverage of that event as well, and then you'll get Carson's opinion on. You'll get essentially what I did this week, but Carson's version for Fright Fest.
Exactly. It'll all balance out. So, yeah, that's that. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, y'all are looking forward to that too. And I'm looking forward to our guest next week, Austin. He's going to be a hoot and a
Yeah, but I
half.
think it's going to be great. We're going to do a nice little stylistic thing. And then, of course, at the end of the month on October 31st, we have the Haunted Mansion. I got some great Haunted Mansion pins back there. Super excited to talk about my favorite ride ever, the Haunted Mansion, coming down the line. But yeah, excited to get back into it. I thought I scratched my theme park itch, and I did for about a week. And now I'm ready to get back into it.
Can't blame you there, man. Well, thanks for sharing your
Can't
list.
be satiated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nor should you be. Thank you for sharing the list. That's a cool list. It makes me want to go check out those haunted houses for sure at some point. Either in a.
Yeah, haunted houses are great.
It sounds like.
Get a butterbeer, walk around.
So do you think you're? So do you recommend checking out this one, or do you recommend checking out the Orlando one more?
I think most people would say the Orlando one. Some people have said the Hollywood one feels like a preview to the Orlando one.
Interesting. Okay.
Like I said, I haven't done the Orlando one. I know you haven't either, so it's a good starter one. But also the prices are just insane, though. I don't even know. The Orlando one might be like insane. But the Express Pass, if you're gonna try to do it all in one night, unless you're like me and you're just a sicko and you're just ready to strap your boots and walk the whole length of the park several times, it's a lot. But still, great time. But anyway, we'll continue the spooky season here on Tickets Please. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you all. Take care.